Welcome to Road Comic Adventures. I'm Renee Bray, and this is Flip, the Big Load Orley.
AKA the Blurter and Icksnay.
Hey, you know what? I'm excited about this week because we're going to start doing a few different things. First of all, please subscribe to the channel because this week Flip and I are both going to be doing different lives from a couple of different areas. We've decided to start our adventures earlier because we're tired of sitting at home. Well, we're not really tired of it. We're really good at it, actually.
Oh, I've gone pro. I went pro in February of 2020.
But we're going to be shooting some live shots out and about in different places. And if you want to see that, being a subscriber will really help. Plus, we really need more subscribers. We've already got one of Flip's friends, Morton, on, who saw him in Lowell, Arkansas. And Morton, we're thrilled you're here. The other thing I'd like to talk about is your friend, Mark.
I hear that you're unhappy with Mark from Dallas.
Mark used to be my favorite. And I believe, for evidence, just go back to several of the podcasts because Mark was so helpful to us in the podcast. And then Mark decided to get snotty with me and actually was trying to encourage you to become his opening act. And in that email or text message he sent you, he actually told you, and we won't tell Renee. And well, maybe it's because I was a blurter. And then to add insult to injury, I find out that he didn't watch last week's podcast until way late.
Because and why?
He was on vacation in Orlando. And where do I live? Orlando. And then he says something about drinking. And I go, well, he could have been out with a professional. You talking about going pro. I don't think the boy can keep up with me doing Corvo.
No, you are definitely pro material that nobody should mess with.
Yeah, I mean, I've got comedy clubs that'll back me up on that. Nobody ever sold as much Corvo as I did. And, in order to sell something, you got to use it. I didn't want to mislead the public or anything. Are you looking for his message?
Okay, so here is the picture that Mark posted on Facebook in Orlando.
At SeaWorld. Because that's the only place the penguins are, is at SeaWorld.
So I don't know if they told him there when he did that. When my son was much younger, I took my son to San Diego and we went to the San Diego Zoo, which you have to do because it's huge and interesting. And we also went to SeaWorld, and at one of the two, and I forget which, but probably SeaWorld. Well, at the zoo as well, I got a lot of sort of behind the scenes tours and excursions and stuff like that.
Yeah, those are great. Those are awesome.
Amazing. One of which was we went into the penguin experience. What's the first thing they tell you in the penguin enclosure?
I have no idea.
I know. See my eyes? Live.
That's going to get screenshotted and saved. And it's going to show up in a documentary, right? But at least you knew it. This.
Well, that wasn't a surprise. That was me being stupid. Anyway, so we go to this penguin thing, and there's like a half a dozen or a dozen people in with us, and you go inside the cold room. And the first thing he goes, hey, before we go in, just so you know, don't stand behind a penguin. Like, what? Whatever you do, if you see one like walking in front of you and they sort of turn around, don't stand behind a penguin. And we're like, okay, why? When they poop, it's like a fire hose and it'll shoot backwards several feet, but like a stream that could knock an eye out. They, it's almost, it's almost like they were used in like the Civil War on the front lines, and they would just like sort of turn them around, and they'd face the enemy army, and they would just it was
Didn't we have another eye discussion earlier today?
we might have, but I mean, when I said they put like 3-4 feet behind them, but it's not like a bubbler. It's more like a sprinkler. It's more like if you had like the squirt guns and you're shooting into the clown's mouth to blow up the balloon. It's more like that.
Those pooping penguins. Oh, Morton. Please don't get him started. You have no idea.
But so we ended up like, again, if they've got 20, 50, 100, whatever it is, penguins, and you're in there for a half hour, like, a couple are going to poop while you're in there. And I'll be damned. They, like, if you could safely hold one and then chase your enemies, wow, that would be my weapon of choice. As opposed to concealed carry, I would open carry with a penguin.
You're not getting me off the rails tonight. You're not getting me off the rails. Because let me tell you, you go the San Diego Zoo, amazing. Don't forget, I'm originally from Ohio, where we have the Columbus Zoo, which is the most amazing zoo in the entire country. At least it was when
Hannah. That's right? I didn't make that up.
No, you didn't make that up. That's his name. Jack Hanna was there. Absolutely amazing. But I have a SeaWorld story for you that's kind of funny. My mom and my sister and my sister's 2 kids come to Florida.
My mom and my sister. My mom and my sister's kids. Got it. Okay.
And they come to Florida to visit. And they want to go to Disney World first. And they go, let's all go to Disney World. And I go, I'm not going to Disney. I refuse to go to Disney. And they go, well, you don't mind if we take the kids, do you? And I go, a day without the kids? Well, okay, I guess you can take the kids. I really miss them. And you are staying the full time the park's open, right? So they go to Disney World one day, and then the next day they go, we're going to SeaWorld. And I go, oh, I love SeaWorld. We'll go to SeaWorld. So we get to SeaWorld, and we're going to see one of the shows. And I have my sister's 2 kids and my 3 kids. And I go, all the kids are here, but I'm missing my mom and my sister. So I go, come on, kids, we got to turn around. I don't know where we lost your grandmother at, but we got to go find her. So we turn around, and we see my mom and sister looking at something. And I go, what are you guys doing? We're going to miss the big whale show. And they go, oh, look at this cute little rabbit over here. I'm like, you guys are from Ohio. Look at the rabbits in Ohio. Let's go. And they're like, man, we were just looking at the rabbit. It's just like, oh my God. That's my family in a nutshell. Right there.
So when we were, I was born and raised in Phoenix. And so in the day we would go to San Diego to go to Disneyland, which made way more sense than going across country to Orlando to go to Disney World. Whatever, doesn't matter. So we go to Disneyland. And at the time I'm like, I'm making up the ages because I don't remember exactly. But let's say I was like 5. And my parents told me that I had to say I was 4. And the reason why I had to say I was like a year or 2 younger than I was because I got a better price going in the gate. Now, I have 3 older sisters and parents who I always felt like that they weren't my biggest fans. So I may have some insecurity. Anywho, so we're in Disneyland and we're walking around, and I feel like I don't fit in with my family. It's got my mom and dad, and 3 sisters, and then just sort of dopey me. And so we're walking around, and we go and we see Swiss Family Robinson's Treehouse, right?
Nice.
And then my parents go, "Ah, look, it's Swiss Family Robinson's Treehouse," and I go, "Ah, it is." And then my parents go to my 3 sisters, and they did. They just disappeared. They were gone. They were gone. So I'm looking up, and then like when I was done, I looked around. It's like, Mom, Dad. I'm going to use a movie reference, but you won't get it. But that's okay.
Okay.
It was like Joe Dirt at the bus stop. Oh, it was like Shazam with
Gomer Pyle.
no, not yeah. No, Shazam the movie where the first they've made 2 now, but the first one, this young kid, his
Because you
mom.
didn't think I saw Joe Dirt, but you thought Shazam may have come up
Well,
on my
right away you're like Shazam, well I'm in, but Joe Dirt is like, I don't think so. So, but in both cases, the parents in Shazam, it was the mom. The mom sort of left her kid at a carnival, and he just thought they got lost accidentally, and they didn't. She ditched him. And I think in Joe Dirt, he thought the parents got lost accidentally, and I think they ditched him. So I'm at Disney.
making notes because we are traveling together.
So I'm at Disneyland, and my parents went to my 3 sisters like, so they're gone. And when I was done looking at the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse, I'm like, now what? I mean, by the way, in the day, and I'm going back a long time ago, now like they stamp your hand or whatever it is, and you've got all access to all the passes. I don't know if you know this, but early in the last century, when you went to Disneyland, you had to buy tickets. And then like a bucket of tickets, and they would be A, B, C, D, and E. And the E tickets, there were the fewest in the booklet, and the E tickets were the very best rides, like the Matterhorn and things like that. So, by the way, if you ever hear me refer to something as being an E ticket, that's an exhilarating thing. That's a good thing.
E-ticket ride. Yeah, see, Martin.
You know about E tickets? Wow. So I didn't hold the.
I'm thinking our podcast is probably not an e-ticket.
Not yet. We're working our way. Right now we're at B ticket, but we're heading to an E. So I didn't have my ticket booklet. I'm like 5, 6 years old. They don't trust me with that. So like, it's not like I can go on rides. So I'm just sitting there. And eventually the Disney police came and said, who you with? And I'm like, I don't know. And so they took me into some like lost children's area. And I was there the entire day.
You mean your parents really did?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Oh
Now, I wasn't there for this, but I was told later that I'm the youngest of 4. The youngest of the 3 sisters said to my mom, as my mom was crying, that she lost her son. The youngest of the 3 sisters goes, Mom, if we can't find him, do I get my own room? And if I remember correctly, I think my mom slapped my sister across the face. Which, so that's kind of a rainbow in a dark cloud moment, I guess. So wow. I get screwed that day at Disneyland. I didn't have a booklet ticket. I couldn't go on rides.
Wait a second. We're going to get this one right.
Oh, you grew up in Huntington Beach. Oh, you absolutely know about the e-ticket ride.
Yeah. Say a book of tickets. A booklet of tickets.
Booklet of tickets.
Okay. I just wanted it
A booklet of tech. Yeah.
Because every time you were saying it, you were saying
Because
it wrong,
books
and
booklets.
and it was starting to get funnier and funnier. And every week you do this, where you start off being semi-normal, as close as I've seen you get to it. And within a couple of seconds, you have me laughing. And I'm laughing and I can't stop. I'm off the rails. I can't complete a whole sentence. And the only time I can stop is when you say something stupid about aluminum.
Same trip.
Oh, I see you're hopping right over that.
How cool is that? I did walk away, didn't I? Same trip, right? So, and I actually wrote a bit from this. I wrote a bit from this years later. So I'm like 5, 6 years old, whatever. And it was one of the days where I wasn't lost, where my family didn't ditch me. And I really feel like there's a chance they did that on purpose. Anyway, one of the characters walking around, and I want to say it was Goofy, like was a little bit too close to me. And I have a really big spatial bubble. Like I don't like feeling so I don't have claustrophobia when it comes to small spaces like elevators or rooms or whatever. I don't like people standing over me. Like that has always bugged me. So so Goofy, I guess, was coming to say hi or take a picture or, whatever. But all I knew is Goofy was crowding me, right? And so I wanted to punch Goofy in the face, but I was a lot shorter, so I punched up. And evidently, like in this kind of emotion,
oh goodness,
was a nut shot. So I nut shotted Goofy. So Goofy knocked me down.
He had a groin pull.
Yeah. Goofy actually, he didn't hit me, but like he nudged me hard enough to knock me down. And then
had he done the same thing to you?
Well, then my dad had words with Goofy. So years later, I wrote a bit about that.
I just got to say, you got some interesting stories, my friend.
Nut-shotted Goofy. And what's so funny is like when I was in my
you hit him right in the package, didn't you?
As far as I know, it was a FedEx overnight delivery. When your package.
Oh, I got news for you. Don't say overnight delivery. We women dream of that, and we're lucky if we can get in 30 minutes or less delivery. I'm just saying.
Really? Ooh.
If you're going to make a dick joke, I'm going to follow up with one. Just know that you do not have exclusive rights to it.
I thought we had a contract, but I guess not.
Well, that's because you keep thinking that you have a no vote and a veto. And I don't know where you came up with that, because I've looked at our contract.
Oh, if you look under the section wishful thinking, you will see it right there in black and white.
So let me get this straight. We've already ruined this podcast where it's no longer G-rated.
It was never going to be G-rated. PG-13 is really acceptable.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I always say, on that little check mark thing that we have to give, that this is not for children.
Well, it's not.
No, it's not for children at all.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I used to think I didn't like kids. Really, truly, I'm the youngest in my family. I never babysat. I was never around kids. I just assumed I didn't like kids. And then I ended up having one. And from the minute he was born, it's like, oh my God, I love kids. He's amazing. He's the best thing I've ever done. Kids are great. But I don't structure shows or podcasts for kids. I mean, I love them. I think they're wonderful, but I don't structure entertainment for children.
Yeah, I will tell you because your son is much younger than my children, because you waited a lot later, and I decided to have kids early.
Where's
My
this?
oldest granddaughter watched our last video, or
Last
or
podcast.
maybe podcast number 6 or 7, one of them, and she just sent me a text that says, "Nice, Grandma, nice."
When was that? When did you get that text?
Uh, I think it was either last night or this morning. It was when I was too busy to text.
Well,
You know,
my kid's seen my show, and I know I should edit. Like if he's in the audience, I know I should edit, and I don't. So he knows more about his dad than he probably should.
well, I got. I'm going to tell you, when I was starting out as a road comic, I had to take my kids with me. In the summer, they totally traveled with me all the time. But there were a lot of times the kids were with me. And when I started doing comedy, my kids were 5, 7, and 9. They were too young to stay in
Isn't
the
that
hotel.
a women's store?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And the fact that you know that kind of disturbs me a little bit, but I'm going to pretend like I didn't hear.
3 sisters, 5 ex-wives, 1 fiance where she never made it to the pulpit. She fumbled at the 5.
And you know why? She just didn't have the right concentration.
So yeah, I mean, I know a thing or two about the
5,
ladies.
7, and 9. They couldn't stay in a hotel room by themselves. So I would bring them to the club wherever I was working. I would sit them in the back of the room and go, "Look, I'm at my job. I am working. So you can't screw this up. So sit here, no fighting, no noise, no nothing." And I was emceeing back then, and I go, "I got to be up there for 15 minutes. Just be quiet for 15 minutes." They would go, "Gosh, Mom, we can do that." Blah blah blah. So my kids grew up in nightclubs, and I've talked to the kids about it since then, and I go, "Did you feel like that was horrible that I did that to you?" And they go, "Oh my God, we loved it." My son actually says that growing up in the nightclubs helped him to be able, as he's gotten older and gotten into different businesses and work situations, he can deal with anybody. My kids have met some of the biggest names in the business. Some of them have been to my house for dinner, because, when the comics are traveling, I always invited them over for dinner, a home cooked meal.
My kid, I used to bring him to shows when I could, when he was, when I was still married. So from being an infant to about 2.5 years old, and not all the time, but just whenever, whatever. And what my kid discovered when he was about 1.5, 2 years old, you know what he loved to do? He was the king of sound checks.
Oh,
He loved sound checks. And every once in a while, like I was just working in the Dallas area, and some people came up to me and some texted me or whatever. They're like, "Oh my God, I saw you how many years ago when your kid was up on stage holding the mic going, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, check, 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 check," and loved it. Loved doing that. During that period of time, whenever we were walking around, me and my kid, and we went by like a staircase or whatever, I'd be holding his hand or whatever, and he'd let go of my hand and he'd run up like 2 steps, and he'd turn around and face me and he goes, "Daddy," and he goes, "Check, 1, 2, check, 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 1, 2, check." That was his favorite thing in the world to do.
Well, it's funny because in the entertainment business, we can't raise our kids a normal way. We really can't. And I think I told you this story about filling out the little cards for kids their first day of school,
Oh, you
parents.
told me.
Yeah. And I said comedian. And it was Ryan, my youngest one, who's got the most personality, and he's very funny anyway. They go, "Ryan, your mom's a comedian?" "Yeah." They go, "Oh my gosh, how cool is that? Why don't you come up and tell some of her jokes?" And he goes, "Because I'm not allowed to talk that way." And they went, "Oh, oh." And I never got to ask to be like the mother of the week that brings the cookies. Nobody ever said, "Hey, Rene, why don't you come in?" No, wasn't any of that.
How about doing a guest set for the second graders?
One time I was asked for career day. You know how all the schools have career day. And this fifth grade teacher who had been to my show. Now, this is not a teacher I'm sure you want teaching your kid. Because she said, why don't you come in and talk to him about the entertainment business and being a comic? And she goes, language needs to be considered. And I go, yeah, I'm pretty swift on that. So I went in and did a career day. And do you know, not too long ago, probably right before you and I met again, I got an email from a kid who was in that class who is now doing stand-up comedy as a hobby, just as a hobby.
But still, wow.
Yeah, and he said all these years, he said I remembered that career day, and that's the kind of stuff that it's like you said, the email where that guy was there, that when your son was doing the sound check, those are the kind of emails or letters or things that we get that you go, this really was worth doing. All the motels we slept in,
Right.
all of the horrible restaurants, the many miles on the road, and you go, wow, we really have lived a blessed life.
It's been amazing.
I mean, I got to do something that I absolutely love to do.
I went to school in born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona, and I went to school, and they were public schools, but they were different 100 years ago, and the teachers were wonderful, and class sizes were fairly small, and everybody knew each other, and I mean, it was a fairly close-knit group. And one of my favorite teacher throughout the entire time I was in elementary school was a gal named Betty Shafton. And to me, Betty Shafton, Mrs. Shafton, was like a surrogate mom. I loved this woman, right? Knew nothing about her, because in the day, like, teachers didn't share about their personal life. She was Mrs. Shafton, so she was married because she was Mrs. And beyond that, like, I didn't know what she did on weekends. I didn't know what club she went to. I didn't know if she ever tipped a Chippendale. Like, I don't know. But I do know that she was a great teacher. She had a wonderful sense of humor, a lovely smile, and was wildly supportive and cared about the kids. That I knew. And like, if I was having problems at home, I would talk to her. If I was unhappy, I'd talk to her. If I was confused about something, I would talk to her. She was, for all intents and purposes, like a surrogate mom to me. Fast forward, I'm in my 40s, working at a club in Dallas, and I get a note from the manager, and it just says, your old teacher is here. I'm like, my old teacher? And I go looking around. I still recognize Betty Shafton had moved to Dallas, and she was in the front row at my show. Well, I was a smartass in 7th grade, and I had a fresh mouth, and I was a bit irreverent. But
oh my God! Thank God I'm sitting down. I would have never believed that.
But from 7th grade to like in my 40s, I had honed those skills.
Yeah, you went pro.
I absolutely went pro. And it's one of the few shows I've done in my entire career where I would tell a story, as I often do, and I'd be partway through the story, and I'd look down, front row, Mrs. Shafton, Betty Shafton, I go, so sorry. And then I would continue on with the story, and I go, I'm really sorry. And then I would finish the story, and I look at her and go, I'm so sorry. And I apologized to her through the course of 2 hours, probably 50 times. And when the show was over, I went up to her afterwards, and I go, I know you regretted coming here, and it was so nice of you not to, get up partway through, and I'm so sorry, and I hope I didn't embarrass you, and I hope I didn't embarrass myself. She goes, oh my God, you were so funny. I loved every minute of it. Were you listening? Did you hear the stories?
I had a great time when I was in Dayton, Ohio, because I grew up outside of Dayton. And one time when I was working there, once again, you get a note from the manager. There are some people that would like to see you out front. They say they know you. I go out to see who it is. It's this family that I used to babysit for. So these two little kids that I've babysat for are now adults. And I'm like, you're about to see some stuff and wonder what your parents were thinking when they left you with, just so you know. And they were like, oh my gosh, you used to be so quiet. Used to be would be the operative word. I've lightened up a little bit. Just saying.
I did a show in San Antonio, not San Antonio, beg your pardon, Albuquerque. And, one man show, 2.5 hours, whatever it is. Fun volunteers, good show. Ended to like pretty big applause, whatever. So I get off stage, and a guy that I grew up with, went to elementary school with, who lived down the street from me, came up to me and he goes, oh my God, that was so funny. And I go, oh, thank you. And he goes, so what do you do for a living? Nothing. Comedy.
Kind of this little thing right here is what I do.
Thought it might have been obvious, but evidently not.
And I've told you about the big show I did in my hometown because there are 3 female comedians. Yeah. The second show was a real blast. For one thing, my mother and all of her friends, of course, they were seated right in the center middle section where I'm looking at them the whole time. And I asked if any of the teachers from our high school were there. And several people raised their hands. And one of them was the driver's ed teacher. Mr. Kroll, I'll never forget him, was our driver's ed teacher, the poor terrorized man, because some of us were really horrible drivers.
You said driver's ed.
Yeah, driver's ed.
Okay.
What did you think I said?
I must have dozed for a moment. I thought you had said special ed. Driver's ed makes more sense.
That's going to cost you right there.
No, I would love to tell you. So I'm at a friend. We'll get back to the story in a second. I was at a friend's house. It's at the time I was married to my 5th wife. And we were in Maryland. We were in the backyard. We're having a barbecue and we're eating and burgers and whatnot. And the gal, the wife of this couple, kind of well endowed, So we're talking and I'm eating. We're talking, and I get distracted every once in a while for a nanosecond. So she goes, "Oh look, my boobs are crumb catchers," right? But I had distracted for a second, and I swear to you, I'm not kidding, I missed the R. I missed the R. And I didn't say anything because I didn't want to embarrass her. But it's well, that's a weird thing to share with friends, but okay. And then Stacy goes,
oh, wait a second. I may be a little special ed. It took me
But I wasn't trying to be silly.
It took me a few minutes because I was leaving off the C and not the O.
No, C.
I got, please don't explain it.
Rum catchers?
And I go,
like Captain Morgan?
That was so much more appropriate than I gave. Flip, I tell you all the time, I think you're a very smart man. And apparently that was one of those visionary things that I think you...
Rum catchers?
Shut up, please. Please, can we just go by? Do you remember the little radio interview story I told you?
Oh, yeah.
Equally as special ed as that. Equally as special ed.
So she goes, my boobs are crumb catchers. And I my neck snapped. I'm like, but I was like, all right, I say silly stuff. So, okay. So then my 5th wife goes, I know what you mean. My dad uses his beard for the same reason. And then And then it's like, wow, your dad really, for his age, really gets some distance, doesn't he? And then they looked at me like, what the hell are you talking about? And I just giggled and I walked away. And it wasn't until later that evening where I found out that it was crumb catchers. Anywho, I heard you say Ed. And anytime you hear Ed other than Mr. Ed, I thought you had said special ed, but you said driver's ed.
I was more appropriate than I'd get. I'm sorry I didn't give you the credit you deserved at the time, but it didn't take you very long to prove your point. Yeah, and he was in the audience. So my mom had always called me a horrible driver, and she goes, "Aren't you taking driver's ed in school?" Well, yeah. And she goes, "The only thing that bastard is doing is teaching you how to use your turn signal and beep the horn. Apparently, they don't teach you anything else in driver's ed." And my mom would go on for hours about that. So I finally got to point that out while he was in the audience, and it was great. And I felt kind of bad afterwards for,
Wait,
saying,
for who? That to
for
throw your
him.
mom?
No, not for my mom, but for him. Because I thought, that's pretty much criticizing him as a teacher and everything. Come to find out, he loved it. The following week, of course, I've left town. And my mom and a bunch of her friends were out on Friday night having dinner. And Mr. Kroll and his wife came in and wound up sitting with my mom and them and told him, or he told my mom how much he enjoyed that. And he felt like the belle of the ball. He goes, all week long, people in Wilmington have been coming up and telling me that
Beep,
they
beep.
pew pew.
When I was 15 and 7 months in Phoenix, you could get your permit, and then you could get your license at 16. So when I got my permit, I used to I would practice on my mom's car, and my mom's car didn't have power brakes. And in the day, power brakes were not standard issue on every car. So I grew up like using a little bit of elbow grease, with my leg to stop the car, because you had to put some effort into it.
Yeah, that's better than where I thought you were going with the elbow grease.
So then fast forward, you have to take, I don't know if you had to take driver's ed in the day, but if you took it, you got a 10% discount off your auto insurance.
We had to take it in Ohio. You had to take driver's ed to get your license.
Well, in Arizona, I believe you didn't have to, but again, it was going to cost you more for auto insurance. So I took driver's ed, and I didn't know there was such a thing as power brakes. I wasn't an auto mechanic. I just knew my mom's car, and that's what I drove, and that's what I got used to. So it's like a Saturday morning and not very busy, and we're driving down the street, and I think we're on Central Avenue, which is fairly big, city street. And way up a ways, I see the light turn yellow, and I know it's going to turn red. So I apply the amount of pressure necessary to slowly bring a car to a stop before you hit the red light. But as it turns out, that exact amount of pressure with cars on power brakes, I locked up the wheels and we skidded across 2 lanes, and I think we clipped the curb.
Well, my mom was a widow and she remarried. So my stepfather was an Air Force colonel who was training Vietnamese pilots.
Vietnamans. Hello, Vietnam.
I know, I speak French, so there you go. I just add a little French to it. Vietnamese pilots how to fly planes. So he thinks that teaching me to drive, how hard can it be? So my mom had a 66 Chevy Impala.
I knew it was going to be an Impala. Had to be. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, convertible.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But we weren't allowed to put the top down because if you put it up and down too much, it might break. So consequently, we never used the convertible. So I don't know why she bought that. That's a whole nother side of the family. But So we go over into the church parking lot. There are no other cars. There's a couple of lights, but he's figuring I can miss those. And he goes, okay, I want you to start. Press the accelerator slightly and just let's drive a little ways. And so I'm driving. I'm thinking, this is good. Look, this is good. And then he goes, hit the brakes. Well, if you tell me to hit the brakes, I thought he wanted me to hit the brakes.
Right.
These were power brakes. His head goes into the windshield. It shatters.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
He told me to hit the brakes. I hit the brake. He has blood running down his face. To his credit, he looked at me and he goes, let's switch seats and we're going home.
This is special driver's ed teacher?
No, this was my stepfather.
Oh, your stepfather. Okay, yeah. Got it.
And he and driving back to the house, he goes, I teach Vietnamese pilots that can barely understand English, and none of them have ever put me through the windshield of a fighter jet. Congratulations. And he goes, and I go, well, are we going to come back out and drive later on? And he goes, probably not.
So I'm kind of a nitpicker with language, but I am for a reason. I mean, I am for a lot of reasons, but I am for a reason. So I have horrible allergies, and it got to the bad point where they were so bad. I went to an allergist and got tested, and they tested me for multiple things, and I was allergic to everything. And they go, you need allergy shots, and you have to take 2 shots twice a week, 4 shots a week, 2 a day, 2 days a week. All right. I go, but I have to be able to do that on the road. Like, I'm not going to fly home every couple of days to get a shot. I've got to be able to do it on the road. And they go, fine. They go, are you home for like the next month? And I go, actually schedule some time off, so I'm home. So they go, great, because we want to give you these shots for about the next month and just sort of make sure you don't have a bad reaction.
Makes sense.
100%. In the next month, we will teach you, providing that things go well and you don't have a bad reaction. Your body doesn't, go into some kind of
you don't have an allergic reaction to the allergy shot.
Yeah. So they go, and providing things go well, we'll teach you how to do it. And then you can buy the vials and the syringes and take them with you on the road. And I go, great. Month goes by and everything's fine. And they go, okay, next time you come here, come in a pair of shorts, like wear shorts. And I go, all right. So I come in and I'm wearing shorts, and the gal goes, what you're going to do is, there's 2 kind of needles. There's the really small subcutaneous needles, sub-Qs, and there's the IM needles, which is intramuscular. Allergy shots are
very familiar.
Yeah. So allergy shots are the sub-Qs, very small, whatever. So she goes, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to raise up your short legs so that, you get a good meaty part in your thigh. And I go, okay. She goes, you're going to take an alcohol swab and stick it on the vial. You're going to put the needle into the vial, turn it upside down, suck up. She didn't call it juice, but the allergy juice. Flick it and push the plunger to get out any air bubbles. I'm like, got it. She goes, swab your area of your thigh that you're going to do the shot to. I go, okay. And she goes, and then with one quick jabbing motion, you go ahead and you jab your leg, and then you stick in the fluid. And I go, okay. I go, let me review. So, alcohol, needle in, take it out, get the bubble, do the alcohol, jabbing motion. She goes, yeah. I go, all right. I go, I've never done this to myself before. It seems weird, but okay. It seems like a crime against humanity, but okay. So I do everything, needle and thing, pull the deal, get out the bubble, do the alcohol on my leg. I'm actually doing the motion you can't even see because here. That's the alcohol swab. And so now I'm holding the syringe, And I go, okay, here we go. I'm going to do it. And she goes, okay, do it. And I go, and I come up like this high.
Oh my God.
And as I'm coming down, I literally, out of the corner of my eyes, here going, no. And with that, like the needle goes in my leg, and I let out a yell in this doctor's office.
Oh, I bet you did.
Yeah. And let's just say, since this podcast is PG-13, I can't say what I said in the doctor's office because that was not PG-13. But I let it.
Were you a truck hauling a load? Does it rhyme with truck?
It does. But there was other words that were on either side of it.
Like relatives, mother.
And whatnot. Yeah, there was a string of verbiage. All designed to let those.
Now I'm encouraging you. I'm trying to be an enabler. And I know better than that because you'll go right along with me.
I'm trying not to.
I know you're trying not to, but
all my verbiage was designed to let people in the office know that I was unhappy and I was uncomfortable.
And do you think they were you explicit enough that they got it?
I feel like I got my message across to everyone within earshot.
There's no doubt in my mind.
So the nurse goes, slowly, take it out of your leg. And I go, why? It's such a small needle. That shot hurt more than any other shot ever. And she goes, well, the needle might have broke off in your leg. I go, what? She goes, the needle might have, like, take it out. And so I took it out, and I go, why did it hurt so much? She's like, what's this? What's this? I go, well, that's a jabbing motion. She goes, no, you're supposed to do this. I go, well, that's a flicking motion. She goes, what? I go, that's flicking. I go, okay, let's say you're at the park at like 10 o'clock at night, and a homeless person comes up to you with a knife because they're going to mug you, right? You think they're going to do this? No, because that's a flicking motion. They're going to do this. That's a jabbing motion. I go, language counts. Language matters. Meanwhile, she's like, that's going to hurt for a while. I'm like, really? You think so?
I just noticed that you have some issues.
So when your stepdad says, hit the brakes, it's like, choose your words better. Maybe you're a little bit more careful with language when you're talking to the Vietnamese because, they don't understand English. So you're really explicit.
Yeah, I hit the brakes.
Yeah.
I'm
just saying.
But I notice you have some issues with medical stuff.
I do. So one day.
I mean, a little bit of duct tape seemed to throw you into a whole world of pissed off I wasn't expecting.
One day I have a raging sinus infection. And I couldn't, over the course of some period of time, I couldn't breathe. So I used to take Vicks Vapor Rub and I put it there, right? And it only worked okay. And I thought, well, if that works only okay, what would work better, right? So I would take
hot.
That would work better. I took like a glob of Vicks Vapor Rub and I went up and in and I wiped it but in, right?
Oh, inside the nose.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that worked really well until it didn't, and it had a rebound effect that, however congested I was, it was much worse. And this is over the course of like 2 weeks, and then my nose started bleeding like a sieve. My nose was actually doing its impression of a Sam Peckinpah movie, which I know means nothing to you. So now I'm getting
Put it on our list. Put it on the list.
I'm getting these vicious, life-changing, I could die at any moment nosebleeds. And so with that, I go to the ENT, and my regular doctor wasn't there that day, so I had to see another ENT in the practice. And so first of all, here's what you never want to have the doctor look at something going on in your body and then audibly gasp. Like, that is not the response you're looking for, right? So the doctor looks at my nose and is like, I'm like, oh, that can't be good. And he goes, you have like open sores in your nose. Like you have, like, it's all just one gaping wound. He goes, what have you been doing? And I tell him the whole story about the Vicks. And he goes, well, who told you to do that? I go, well, it's a home remedy. He goes, it's a home remedy. Like, where'd you read that? I go, well, I made it up at home. It's a remedy that I made up at home. It's a home remedy. He asked that I never come back to see him again.
Really? That would not surprise me. You know, see, it's too bad we weren't friends then, because I could have helped stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
See, you take a baggie and you put it across your nose, and in order for the blood not to go everywhere, we would take just little pieces of duct tape and seal it all over.
You are so evil. You're just so evil.
I was trying to help. I didn't. My goal was to not get any water in your ear. By the way, no sponsor tonight?
No. I've been preoccupied with other stuff going on.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking of other stuff, since we have another viewer on, Morton already knows this, because Morton, God love you, you were early and we appreciate that.
And by the way, are we pronouncing your name right? Is that M-O-R or is that M-A-R? I can't even tell.
Oh, it might be Martin. It might
know.
be an A. Because, you
So,
know,
if we've been pronouncing your name wrong for the last hours, our sincere apologies.
My fault.
M-Man. He's the M-Man. M-Man.
My fault.
That's pronounced like Martin. Okay, so it is an A. I am so sorry.
I am too, and that's my fault. I looked at it wrong. I apologize. I should not read from this far away. I'm in special ed apparently now, according to Flip. That's okay. But so we have another viewers, because we have two now.
But it's not Martin. We have Martin and a mystery guest.
Yes.
Okay, I'm M-A-R-T-O-N. I am so glad you have tuned in and thrilled.
Yeah, they've already written 8 comments while you've typed 1 in response. We're going to send you to a typing class. Martin says, that's okay. You've made me laugh. Oh, well, that's really sweet.
That was sweet. That was nice.
Yeah. And I'm happy for a change. If you've noticed, I've not gone off the rails.
No. You've really kind of pulled your S together.
Well, look at you.
I know.
Oh, it's Jeremiah. Hi, Jeremiah. We love you, man. Hey, Jeremiah, you make sure that you and all your friends actually subscribe to the channel. Because we need more subscribers. That'll really help us so that other people will tune into this dumpster fire that we put together every week. But more importantly, this week, Flip and I decided to do, I call it a little surprise. Both of us are going to be out and about and filming some surprise stuff live. And the only way you'll be able to see it live is if you actually subscribe.
And if you know the special handshake.
Oh, I don't want to hear anything about your special handshake. Because let me just tell you, you may call yourself Icksnay, but I call you the naughtyologist.
Let's just say it's a handshake for one lonely person at a time.
Oh, yeah, homeless in Phoenix.
So
I'm
one more.
pretty good at the callbacks tonight.
You were doing, yeah. Well, you know what? You are a pro. You're a professional.
I know.
So
It's such a shame that I can't do comedy anymore because I could open for you and do 30 minutes of material on nothing but you. You know that, right?
yeah. We've had, the funny thing is when we talk on the phone, we don't like record a conversation. So there's no, whenever you do like TV or movies or whatever, they film a lot of extra stuff that never makes it in the show. And the stuff that never makes it in the show is called B-roll. It's just extra footage. And many times the B-roll is really, really entertaining. It's really funny. Wouldn't you say? Not always, but a lot of times. Renee?
What? B-roll? You're talking and?
I'm
I'm sorry, I left the building for a second.
Yeah. Crumb catcher.
Special education.
But B-roll, not all of it, but a lot of it can be entertaining.
No, you're totally right. Sometimes the B-roll is the best stuff, but it just doesn't fit in, so they don't use it.
Right.
Which is a real shame, actually.
So, I mean, if we were to, not during a podcast, but just like record, because we talk several times a day, and many of the conversations are somewhat lengthy. If we recorded some of those, they would make great B-roll footage, but they're really, 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 really not appropriate for anybody who's looking to gain more viewership from an audience that's not have that wouldn't have the stomach for the conversations we have. It's not.
That was a nice way of saying it would be R-rated, is what he was trying to say.
It's not for the faint of heart, but they are funny.
Oh, they're funny.
But when we're out and about recording, there's going to be probably more sort of B-roll footage that'll probably make its way somewhere. That if you're subscribing, you'll be more apt to see it if you want to. If you find this interesting, Martin said some laughs. You might too.
Yeah, Martin didn't say a whole bunch of laughs, but we made Martin laugh.
You've made me laugh.
Yeah, once. Words are important. Flip.
Words matter.
Words matter.
One more medical story.
Actually, there's good news.
There's so many.
You say medical, and I'm immediately going, no.
I went to the doctor. I was sick as a dog. I didn't know what I had at the time. It turns out I think it was double pneumonia and a few other things, but I was really, really sick. And I was sitting there, and I felt. Beg pardon?
You were what?
Really, really sick. I was sick. I was sick. So, thank you. Martin said no many times.
Oh, so, Martin, that's really sweet of you. It really is.
Mark, did a penguin poop on you? If so, I want to hear about it. So
Jeremiah, you're going to have to go back and watch from the beginning because I know how you boys like a pooping story better than anything. Oh.
I'm sitting there in the doctor's office, sick as a dog, don't know what I have, but I'm like, eyes half closed, shoulders are sunk in and kind of forward. And the doctor has his white lab coat on, and he's got like one of those eye mirror thingies that he can like put over his eye. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but I like to watch you. Hey, Flip, this is the only time you and I get to spend in the same room together is once a week. And I don't get to see all the weird stuff that you do when we're not on camera. So if you think I'm going to give up this little pleasure, you are incorrect.
So he's got that eye thingy, and he's got the white coat, and he's in a rolly stool, and I'm sitting there, And he rolls up to me because he's gonna take that eye thingy and he's gonna like want to look in my mouth, right? And just as he rolled up, I kind of go like that, but with
No,
more.
let me just tell you, as a mother, I recognize that. And if you think the being behind a penguin's bad, do not get in front of a sick child or adult going. "Ugh."
Well, I had sputum that came from somewhere below the depths of hell, and
You've
evidently,
probably been saving up for about a week.
oh yeah, and evidently the beavers had blocked the dam. And whatever little cough I did, like sort of the dam broke open. So as the doctor's wheeling up, and I go, I see this thing from like Alien, another movie reference, just like come careening out of my mouth. And in slow motion, I see it like going head over ass, right? To the point where it goes right on the doctor's chest. And as sick as I was, I still knew that was a faux pas.
Thank you for adding French. I love it.
So I go to the doctor. I go, I'm so sorry. And without missing a beat, he reaches over to a cabinet, grabs a petri dish and a scraper, and he goes, "No problem. We'll send it to the lab." And they did.
I bet Eve thought I went to medical school for that.
It's one of the grossest things that I have ever seen kind of come out of a body ever.
Well, and for you, that's saying a lot. I'm just saying.
That is saying a lot. And as it turns out, he did send the sample to the lab. And as it turns out, that sample let the doctor know I was pretty sick. I was sick. I was really sick. I was sick.
Oh my God. What are we going to do? Well, you and I have a busy next couple of days. I believe.
We do.
Because we're going to be doing a lot of filming. And I think a lot of surprises for everybody else. We're not surprised. We know. Well, I start to say we know what we're doing, but look at us. Do we really? Let's see if maybe.
But I think I'm going to have a camera with me.
Well, and I'm going to have a cell phone with me, and I can always film with my cell phone. So when you're making your little adventure, you can film from there. And when I'm making mine, I will film from mine.
You know what? I think I'll use the cell phone too. I think it'll be easier. As opposed to when I'm out and about bringing a camera, I think I'll just bring a cell phone.
That's a great idea. And they'll also get to, if you're going to be out and about, surely you're taking Storm, the Road Comics adventure dog.
I am bringing Storm.
So we ask that you subscribe to this channel on YouTube, Road Comic Adventures. And if you want to see any of the still shots, we'll probably post them on here too. And also on our Facebook and all of our other social media, which is Road Comic Adventures. If you want to see Flip's schedule, he has a website. And apparently, to make it easy, it's fliporley.com. He also has social media in his own name in all venues: Instagram, TikTok, X,
Facebook,
and
YouTube.
Oh, that's right. You're on YouTube too. Because
by the way, I'm going to be in Phoenix July 30th and 31st at the Desert Ridge Improv, one show each night. That's Wednesday and Thursday. And then the Tempe Improv, August 1, 2, and 3, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I'll have two shows Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday at the in Tempe. And then hopefully I'm going to be one of the mornings at KUPD with John Holmberg and Brady and Brett. And we'll be doing, if they're off that week, then I won't go. Or if they're busy that week, I won't go. But if they have time and they're on the air, I love those peoples.
Blue Sky. Martin.
Isn't that an ELO song? Oh, yes, Mr. Blue Sky. It's
Yeah.
Mr. Blue Sky to you, buddy.
Hey, I don't know about movies, but now we're talking my genre, music.
Mr. Blue Sky.
Yes. I actually have it on my iPod, which I don't think iPods exist anymore, but I have too. Go
I
figure.
mean, I'm sure they exist on eBay or something, but yeah. And then I'm taking a little bit of time off for August because Rene and I are working on some projects. And then comes September, it starts getting busy on the road. September 13th, Ocala, Florida, the Marion Theater. September 17th, the Art Theater, Hobart, Indiana. That's correct.
Very proud of you. Because
September 19th, the Park Theater in Holland, Michigan.
our
September 20th, the Apollo Civic Theater in Martinsville, West Virginia.
we're hoping to add a couple of more that we're working on right now.
Possibly, can we say the state or no, not even that?
That's not.
Okay, a couple other venues.
Why I don't want you to say the state?
Why?
Because Mercury's in retrograde. And I don't want you to screw anything up because, I follow a lot of astrology and stuff. Now, is there anything you would like to add to my Mercury in retrograde comment?
Nope. Not one single thing.
You're a handful, Mr. Orley. You're a handful.
So we've been on about an hour. We have had, as always, whether we have an audience or not, I love talking to Rene. It's always enlightening and new and funny. And
you got away with calling me special ed.
It's a gift. It's a gift.
It truly is. I have a blast, and it's always a joy to be in the same room with you. And that's what I feel like when we're on the stream, I guess you call it.
Right. So for those who don't know, like Renee's in Orlando, Florida. I'm in Lafayette, Louisiana. So we're not in the same building. We're just in the same podcast. By the way, Martin, you wrote down Blue Sky. Neither Rene or I know what that's in reference to. And if you don't want to tell us, you don't have to. But if you wouldn't mind us knowing, I'd love to know what the reference is.
Well, I will tell you this. Martin types a hell of a lot faster than you do. So we'll probably find out in a couple of seconds.
Well, it's because he's not speaking as he's typing.
How do you know it's a he?
Boy, howdy, I hope I got that right. Oh, it's an alternative app to Twitter. I've never heard of that one. Have you heard of that one?
Who are you talking to?
Oh, holy crap, you're not a he? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. We have been so unfair to you for over an hour.
No,
and
no. Back the truck up, Mr. Orley.
You got the left?
We haven't been anything because we'll check it out, Martin. But do me a favor. Point out to him that I never called you a he or a she. That was all this right here.
Inadvertently, I've been very unfair to you this late afternoon, and I sincerely apologize.
No, you know what? I'm going to be a good partner. Oh, I'm sorry. Martin, could you type that again in bigger letters so all of us could see it? Oh, she is right. Oh, my God.
Well, no,
oh, she's got a crush on you. That's
no way, really? Oh. Wait, who? I hope you mean me. I mean, because you've come to see my show, so I hope you mean me.
Well, she does
And
love you. Of course. Why wouldn't she have a crush on you?
am I blushing? My cheeks feel warm.
You're blushing.
Am I really?
Yeah, and thanks, Martin, because now I'm going to have to hear about that all week.
Oh, yeah, you will. I don't think anybody's had a, if it's me. Oh, I don't think anybody's had a crush on me since 1967. So this is a brand new.
Oh, listen to you trying to be all modest, and you know better. And you know what, Martin? I'm thankful it's on him because he's been really jealous lately. Because one of the bookers has a big crush on me, and he's been very jealous.
That's really true. The booker actually asked Rene to book me, and then said, and when the date arrives, not to bring me, just to go herself. Oh. Oh, I did. I hypnotized you, so you have to have a crush on me.
Yeah, if that only worked on your partner. No, and I see. I was going to take one for the team yet again for you, and say no. If you say we did something, I'll go with the we, because I was the one that was calling her Morton.
Right. So you mispronounced
Her name.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry, and I hope that is as sincere sounding as I actually mean it. And also thanks for coming to the show. I believe you had said the Grove, and for being on stage and volunteering, getting hypnotized. And I hope that was a fun experience for you.
Well, it was, or she wouldn't have a crush on you. If it sucked, she wouldn't. 3 sisters, 5 ex-wives. You'd think you'd know that.
And 1 ex-fiance.
And 1 ex-fiance, yeah. Hey, I got to go and get out of here. I have got to eat or I'm going to be really sick.
Oh.
Yeah, seriously.
I was never on the. Oh, you were never on the stage. You were just in the audience. You got hypnotized. Oh.
I'm going to go.
You go take care of yourself. I'm going to close out. Yeah. Oh, go take care of yourself. Anyway, I know some of you. So Jeremiah, you and I have never met. Martin, we met, and you were hypnotizing the audience. And again, Daddy-O, I know exactly who you are, and I'm going to see you, Daddy-O, end of July, 1st of August in Arizona. Anyway, we're going to go. It has been nothing but a pleasure. We do this every Tuesday, reposted on YouTube. Usually the day after Wednesday. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to do it on Wednesday or Thursday, but reposting it. And anyway, as Rene said, please share this, tell your friends, or subscribe, or help us out, hook us up, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. The whole getting the stream to end always takes me a moment, so I apologize for that. But I'm working hard on it, and it's been great. Take care.